Recently, Johnny and I spent a couple of hours running around, taking names and kicking ass in Yakuza 6. While we were supposed to be feverishly scouring Tokyo for our missing surrogate daughter, we kind of got immediately sidetracked by all the weird and wonderful stuff there is to do. For people who are new to the Yakuza series like us, it's kind of strange at first. Having this terminally serious, scowling guy swinging from street brawls to stuffing his face with pizza buns to singing his little heart out in a karaoke booth. But it works. The whole game is a treat because you honestly never really know what's coming next. And a serious, possibly very dark story moment could well be followed up by some ridiculous minigames. And those stranger features might well be our very favourite part. Here are 8 very silly things we did in Yakuza 6. First of all, we beat up a bunch of guys with a bike. The streets of Yakuza 6 may be vibrant and charming and glowing with the light of 1,000 neon signs, but they're also pretty dangerous. At any point during your travels, you could run across a group of hostile Yakuza, triads, or just plain thugs, all of them eager to smash your face in. You can always try to run away if you don't want to get caught up in a tussle, but as we discovered, some of your enemies are pretty persistent pursuers and there's only one of you with just 2 fists for company. Not to worry though, the world around you is teeming with items for you to pick up and wield with great destructive force. Like this bike, which turns out to be a pretty effective weapon when used correctly. Special mention also goes to the knockouts we managed to achieve with a large traffic cone and, bizarrely enough, an empty plastic bottle. I guess it's true what they say. It's not the size or the girth of the weapon, it's how you use it. As you might imagine though, beating up bad guys every 5 seconds is hungry work. And, as any self-respecting member of the Yakuza knows, it's important to keep your strength up. It's fortunate then that during our time with it, Yakuza 6 had more eateries open for business than we could feasibly visit in one sitting. From convenience stores to Italian restaurants to mouth-watering ramen dives. It's clear a lot of effort and even more love has gone into the culinary side of the game, and as a result, it's easy to find yourself doing what we did and eating a whole week's worth of meals in just one afternoon. It's so easily done. You'll be jogging away from a bunch of thugs, a sign in a window will catch your eye, and the next thing you know, you're shoving fistfuls of sushi or burger or pasta or parfait in your face. Yum. Needless to say, Yakuza 6 is not one to play if you're already feeling hungry, because it makes pretty much everything look delicious, even the somewhat suspicious sounding pizza bun. It's probably a good thing that being extremely full doesn't seem to affect your ability to beat people up. Otherwise, we'd be in a lot of trouble, and a lot of pain, what with the heartburn and all. Look, don't judge, okay? At least one of those meals was a salad. Don't get me wrong though, Yakuza 6 isn't just about fighting and eating. There's also romance to consider. When wandering into a fancy looking place, okay, I admit it, we might have been looking for somewhere to have a late third lunch, we discovered it was, in fact, a very empty hostess bar. Not surprising given it was like 2 p.m, offering the chance to spend some time building a charming relationship with a charming hostess in exchange for a few thousand yen. Given that we like to think of ourselves as fairly charming individuals, we decided to give it a bash and spent a lovely afternoon with Arena, during which we mostly tried to avoid saying things like, "You make my drink taste better," "Make miso soup for me," and "How many guys have you slept with?" We also managed to drop 15,000 yen on a single glass of Hakushu whiskey for ourselves, though to be fair, the drinks menu extended to gold champagne for 300,000, and we didn't buy per Arena anything. We didn't even order her a tap water after she spilled her guts to us about childhood dreams and ambitions of being a filmmaker. We very well might be the worst. Despite that though, she seemed to like us, but then again, that's literally what we're paying her for. We should maybe brush up on our dating skills a little.
私魔法使ってみたいので、ぜひそういう映画出てみたいです。
As confusing and occasionally uncomfortable as the hostess bar was, however, it was a low-key night in with a Victoria's Secret model compared to the quote-unquote sexy club that we visited and then instantly regretted. Ducking in through the door while escaping the clutches of yet more street thugs, we admit we were intrigued to see just how much of a sexy club it was. But not really a club and definitely not sexy. The venue turned out to be a series of numbered cubicles with a bunch of identical men and women pawing awkwardly at one another, or at least vaguely in the direction of one another, in total silence. They were like fleshy coats and bags, stored in a weird kind of cloakroom / petting zoo / sex dungeon, and put on a gentle spin cycle. Credit where credit's due though. Nobody seemed to be put off by a complete stranger wandering around by himself and having a good look. Which I can only assume takes serious dedication, or more likely, no one's heart was really in it anyway. Mind you, shout out to both the completely unsexy radio host audio accompaniment and the mute proprietor, who just stood there staring. That didn't enhance the already creepy atmosphere one bit. Still, not all socialising in Yakuza 6 has a slightly sinister edge to it. We also discovered, to our complete delight, that there's a cat cafe on offer. As we all know, animals make much better companions than other humans, so we rushed over to the Nyan Nyan Cafe as soon as we possibly could. It was a bit of a letdown though, being devoid of pretty much any cats, except the adorable yet aloof Brittany-chan. Despite his noble endeavour to bring in only unloved street cats, the per owner, it turns out, isn't much of a hit with felines, causing all of his carefully acquired creatures to do a runner at the first opportunity. Valiantly, we agreed to put off our quest to find, what's-her-face? Our sort of daughter, for a little while longer and go round up a bunch of street cats on his behalf, so they can have a cozy life cuddling up together and being adored by their public. Despite buying 20 whole cans of cat food to entice any and all kitties we came across in Tokyo's back streets, we didn't run into a single stray, but we enjoyed going cat questing nonetheless. As the real-life owner of a former stray, you mark my words, cats. This ain't over. Not by a long shot. You will accept our love. After all that eating and romancing and cat food purchasing, however, we were in the mood for a bit of fun. And what better way to let one's hair down and wipe that permanent scowl off one's face than with a bit of karaoke. It's an absolute steal at 500 yen a room. Sure, it felt a bit weird to rent out a huge studio just for one person to do a rousing rendition of Today is a Diamond, but with pipes like these, who needs friends? While ordinarily QuickTime games aren't the most fun, there was something really joyful about belting out a tune with 100% sincerity. Yes, you better believe we were trying to sing along in real life at the same time. And it didn't even take several brightly coloured cocktails to pluck up the courage to do it. It might have been awful and stuttery, but we gave it our all, and practically screamed the odd word that popped up in English. Exactly what curtain and sunshine are doing in the same sentence there, we may never know. He's a good singer though, is our Kiryu, and how exciting is it when the room gets all sparkly.
泳ぎに行こう今頃多分夢の海の中通しがいなくはしゃいでボートを貸し切りにして沈む夕日眺めれば最高のウィーケンド
Karaoke isn't the only minigame on offer in Yakuza 6, mind you. Stumbling across a definitely very authentic Irish pub, and I should know, we found a machine dedicated to that most noble of Irish traditions, electronic darts. Complete with flashing lights and little electronic fanfares to signal high-scoring sounds like a high ton, it really brought the experience of being on the Emerald Isle to the streets of Japan. Definitely. Nothing shoehorned in there at all. The Irish flavour is brought home all the more with the addition of some smooth jazz playing in the background, and a suited barman serving up a range of drinks, and not a single one of them Irish. Listen, from years of experience, let me tell you that a bar is not authentically Irish until there's a turf fire going, the barman is downing pints along with everyone else, and at least 3 locals have produced various Irish instruments like a bodhrán and a fiddle, and the whole pub is singing along. These are just facts.
うまいな
With all that questionable Irish culture flowing through our veins, the next place we hit up just so happened to be a Sega arcade. More than just a fun little Easter egg for you to stand and gawp at like some kind of sexy club for nostalgia though, it turns out you can actually boot up and play two classic Sega games in full, Puyo Puyo and Virtua Fighter 5. It makes sense, of course, with both games being owned by Sega, but there's still something charming and, to be fair, quite generous about playing a game within a game like this. And what a way to work up an appetite for our 4th 11ths of the day. Man, all gangsters aside, this is the best holiday ever. I mean, sorry Haruka-chan, but have you seen how fun Tokyo is? You're just gonna have to wait until I beat all my high scores and eat at every single restaurant downtown has to offer. Oh, and sample all the whiskeys and rescue all the cats. Shouldn't take that long, right?
Round 1. Ready, go!
If you want, you can check out our full Let's Play of Yakuza 6, which should be on screen right about now. If not, no worries. Maybe one of our other videos might tempt you. Much like a delicious pizza bun that you can eat with your eyes and ears. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video for more like it from Eurogamer, and thanks for watching. Bye.